Hey Kev, Alena here. This is my self-assessment video of innovative planning. So objective was to create two 45-minute experiential activities, and overall I thought our group did really well. So we started off with this SMART acronym: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and timely. This was a really great guide for us to start off with, as none of us had much experience, so that made us think to write our goals down visually and to see whether they were going to be achievable in the time frame available. The Eisenhower matrix was also a really cool planning tool to learn. So this was the order of prioritization from urgent to elimination. The elimination was really good, as we were able to cull lots of things which could have wasted our time and allowed for more productivity in the urgent section. So the SWOT analysis, we had to really think about ourselves, and that was quite challenging. And for the second one, it was definitely more developed and refined as we were more critical of ourselves. So that was really good to see, and how we could develop our weaknesses and turn them into strengths and opportunities. The pest analysis I didn't really feel was overly relevant to what we were trying to achieve. Political and economical factors weren't something we really took into consideration, but it was good to see how it could have been relevant for businesses on a creating event on a larger scale. So the DOPE test was really interesting to see what kind of personalities everyone was. Myself, I was an eagle. I like to be a bit more controlling, but it had to help shape our roles within the group as well, based on our personalities and what we preferred and felt more comfortable in doing. So our problem solving skills over this semester definitely developed, as we had to think about lots of different processes and what could affect us. So by the end, our decisions were definitely more calculated and informed. So the leadership skills, my role was we all contributed in giving game ideas, but I critically thought through all the game ideas and whether they really met out what we wanted to achieve. So I'd be like, oh well, what would Kev say? Is everyone getting involved? What's our objective? And just keep questioning to keep everyone thinking and keep them on their toes, so they come game day they had everything sorted. So the 10-step process was a really good guide. It clearly outlined what we needed to be achieved in each stage. Not all of it was relevant to like partner sponsorships and businesses budgets, but they were really great to have a look at and consider with larger scale events. For the other group activities, I thought they did really well in what they achieved. Everyone showed forms of leadership, and it was clear to see who was more of a stronger, dominant leader as they were more involved, and you could see in their body language as well. Leadership was also shown in the group activities, who stepped up. The blindfolded human knock game, for example. It takes a lot of courage to stand up and be like, I'll be the one that's doing it, as most people are uncomfortable in that situation, being blindfolded and quite close together. So the communication varied. I really enjoyed Group 25's activity in week 10. They had a really good setup. They had quality activities and everything flowed smoothly. Group 24, not as much. It took them a lot more time to organise and explain, and we weren't able to take advantage of the time. I felt like the choosing songs, games and filling up water, they just took ages to get everything sorted, and it was quite disjointed. So the planning, Group 25 and week 10, I really enjoyed. As said just before, the games were challenging yet really enjoyable, and everyone was familiar and competent with their roles, and they were really quickly able to answer any questions and queries. 24 didn't feel like they thought these through, and it was quite rushed, and they didn't really match the objectives, like the water in the cup and the song. I didn't really feel it had much purpose. So when contributing, I made sure to make a conscious effort to respect them, as I know it's hard to get up in front of your peers, and I would expect the same sort of respect back. In the discussions, we collaborated negatives and positives and delivered them in a constructive way, which didn't demoralise them but uplift the groups and gave them more ideas to work off for the next one. In conclusion, there was lots of learnings, and it was evident to see how communication, planning, contribution from everyone were vital in having a good experiential activity. And it was also cool to see how student relationships developed, and there was more interaction going on by the end of the semester. Thanks heaps.